Welcome to another episode of Beyond the Facade. I'm Sabrina, or you might know me as Observing Spooks and Other Vices. And we also have Spot Meet Chronicles on, and our guest speaker today, Hood Historian 562. Woo!
Hey, hello.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. One of those days. I've been running
Yes.
around all day.
Oh, well, we're glad we got to catch up with you and get you on.
Awesome. I'm glad to be here.
Oh, wonderful. In your description on your Instagram page, you call yourself urban Renaissance man. Can you describe that and go into detail for us? What
Well,
that
I call
means to you?
myself I call myself an urban Renaissance man because I'm not stuck at one topic. I do other things besides history. I'm into cars. I'm into music. I play an instrument. I play trombone, baritone, and tuba.
Nice.
I'm into architecture, as you guys see that on my Instagram page, and I'm just a man of many hats. And I want to be that old man to say, I did this back, 30 years ago. I did that 40 years ago. I want to be that old guy saying that.
Right.
A true Renaissance man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome.
yeah, thanks.
And we definitely some of the things you already pointed out. We're gonna, ask you a few things about that. So,
All right.
I did want you to kind of, give us a little bio, like where you from, where you grew up, little, snippet about yourself like that.
All right. I'm 38 years old. I'll be 39 in a couple months. I was born and raised in Long Beach. I
Mm-hmm.
still live in Long Beach and I work in Long Beach.
Nice.
And I went to school over here on the east side. I went to school, middle school in Bixby Knolls, and I graduated Long Beach Poly. I'm back in 2000, 21 years ago. Time flies. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. So you're our generation, so we hear you, we feel you on that.
Yeah, exactly. So we grew up in the 80s and 90s, and you
Yeah,
know,
definitely.
I've seen it all. I live on the east side of Long Beach, so I've seen a lot in my neighborhood, and
Right.
it made me who I am today.
Yeah, and we have a lot of questions for you regarding that. Um, so just to kind of start it off, I remember I think you said that you started your kind of history documentation on Facebook. I don't know if I got that right,
Yes.
but can you kind of share like how you first started like on Facebook? I know we all started with some kind of social media when it all came out, but was it just Facebook or did you start way before? Was kind of like your
I
beginning?
started I started way before. I started in elementary school actually.
Oh
I used to
wow.
go to
Ah,
I used to
nice.
go to the Burnett Library up the street, and I used to look at the old Long Beach City of Long Beach books and like the history, you know, um, the earthquake in 1933. I used to look at those books. They were like locally published books in
Yeah.
the reference section. So I used to just go over there to look at those pictures and stuff. And I'm like, oh, I seen that street, and then so looking at the street names and stuff, that got me very interested. And it just started in the elementary school, KCET, Hugh
Okay.
Hauser.
Oh
I've been
yeah,
watching, yeah, I was
Wow.
watching Hugh Hauser since I was a little kid. So me and
yeah.
my twin brother, we used to watch Hugh Hauser all the time. And he used to go places and stuff, and they used to show the old pictures. So it started back in the 80s and 90s with me. I
So
never stopped.
so was it just something that you found out about like on your own, or was history really implemented in your family like to care about history or
No, it was on our own. It was
on
just
your
on
own?
our own.
Yeah.
Well, we hung out in the library, a lot of times growing up. So
The
yeah, we
library.
just
I still remember the
gravitated.
library days.
Yeah, I'll be at the library all day, looking at the books and stuff like that, and wanted to know about my area I lived in.
Right.
And then as you get older, you find out stuff that wasn't in the books, you know,
Mhm.
the history books. And that's a whole nother topic, you know what I mean? And
Right.
yeah, but
No, that makes
as
sense.
Yeah. As far as social media though, 2013, I finally got on the Facebook in 2010, and then I think in 2013 I started posting my history stuff on Facebook.
Did you post did you have MySpace or no?
I had MySpace, but I was barely on that, so I
No,
didn't do
okay.
anything on MySpace. I had a
Yeah.
MySpace, but I got my like MySpace in like 2009. It was already over.
That was over.
It was over. The party was over when I joined.
So on Facebook, you originally started like your own, like a personal page, and you posted history, or did you have like a group page or something like that, or how was that?
Um, it was first it was on my personal page, and then I joined the Born and Raised in Long Beach Facebook group,
Uh
and
huh.
it has like 20,000 members. I'm one of the administrators of that page,
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
and
nice.
yes, and I post on that, and then I have my own Facebook group I made a couple years ago. It's called Southern California Past and Present, and I have about
Oh, why are
3,000
you in
members
that
on
group?
that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just keep my Facebook separate, and
I know.
I'm hardly on Facebook anymore. Even though I post, it's like I'm on Instagram now, and I started doing an Instagram history in the end of 2016,
Yes,
and
and that's what I was gonna tell you. I did some research on your page just to kind of look through, to see what some
yeah,
questions I had.
yeah,
And so I noticed that you started it in 2013, and it was like
yes,
a couple of personal photos, like
yeah.
your.
I got on I got on Instagram, and I never posted, you know, and I got on it, and I didn't do anything on Instagram. I just like three personal pictures, and that was it. And
Yeah,
one day it was like Thanksgiving vacation. I was off of work, and I was sitting down on my living room sofa. I said, let me go on Instagram. And then I didn't know anything. I taught myself. Actually, I taught myself watching other people's pages. I
right.
didn't know anything.
Well, that's kind of a while back. I don't remember really caring too much about Instagram back then either. What about you, Sabrina?
Yeah,
No, no, no. Lots of other things, but not really Instagram and not really.
So when you started, I did see in 2016 that you were posting. Now I seen like the vintage photos and like some historical stuff. Um, so my question is like, what kind of history were you attracted to in particular? What was your interest that you were like, okay, I'm gonna post this back when you first started?
it was just local pictures, things in the background, like buildings I knew in Long Beach, like streets I knew, just things I knew of, in my city, and it was the things I found online in the college websites and stuff like that, and it's just local history, things I saw every day now, but oh, I know that building, I
Hmm.
know that building, and then I look it up, I'm like, oh, that's the firefighting museum around the corner from me, and it's like, I just start connecting to things I know, you know,
Right.
yeah,
It's so funny how we live around these buildings and they really have a life of their own and a history that goes way beyond what we comprehend until we start looking into it, isn't it?
Yeah.
yeah.
No.
Yeah, like that building you posted the other day,
Which one?
that with the funky steps.
Oh
You know,
God.
I saw the old picture in your IG story. I was like,
Yeah.
wow.
I know, right?
Yeah,
The belt. Why they take? It probably like deteriorate over time, but I just that it's like half
I know,
remodeled. I don't know. That's kind of sad.
I know. A lot of buildings, got altered for
Oh, okay.
whatever reason.
Yeah.
Some had to get altered by I think regulations for earthquake rehab. But I
And
know
then
I was like,
as you
wow.
know, the Long Beach earthquake, right?
Yeah.
That ruined a bunch of buildings
Yes, it did.
in the 30s, I believe. So yeah,
1933.
yeah. So so that's cool. So then once in 2016, you just started kind of posting, um,
Yeah,
whatever was in your local area.
yeah,
Got it. So I kind of wanted to highlight what some of the things that I thought were super interesting about your page that kind of wanted to get more insight on. I really love the Then and Now series.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool. So tell us how you started the Then and Now series. Kind of how did you, start developing that one?
I was just posting. I started just posting pictures with no video. And I used to see people make their little 15-second or 30-second before they made it a minute. I used to see
Hmm.
people make their videos. And I'm like, I should make a video of then and now instead of doing a then and now picture like I was doing because I started doing the pictures,
Yeah.
and then I started making a video when I got the my my video maker app.
And we'll ask you
So
about all your techniques later because those are really
Yes.
interesting.
yeah, yeah. So no one taught me. I'm just self-taught. But anyway,
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I was like, I should do it to the music, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I was like, I will make, and I wish I had a better phone. Right now I'm using the Galaxy S10, but because I see other people's videos and they're extra clear, but I don't use a computer or anything. I do everything on my phone.
Wow, that's
So
awesome.
my
Like,
my laptop is dusty. I haven't touched my old laptop, and I need to upgrade.
right? I know, I hear you. I'm trying to upgrade now with trying to do this podcast and get a little bit
Yeah,
more up to technology.
yeah,
But
I'm
with the
behind.
Then and Now series, like, were you, how did you choose like the places that you were doing Then and Now? I mean, how did you?
I wanna do LA. I wanna do South LA because this is another topic. I don't want to try to go off
It's okay. I
the
mean,
then
No,
and now.
please.
yeah,
But by my then and now pictures, I'm trying to get the areas that didn't have any shine. We
yeah,
always see Hollywood. We always see
yeah,
the Queen Mary. I'm over that.
yeah.
Like I want to see other stuff. I want to
Exactly.
see I want to see Lamert Park. I want to see South Central LA.
Yeah,
I want to see Cudahy. I want to see Bell Gardens. I want to see other cities, what they have to offer, in
right.
other neighborhoods. I'm just over seeing the mainstream stuff. So I look for I just type in South Central streets, and just certain streets or certain cities. And I try not to I have to make sure like if the building's still there. 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna post it and the building will still be there. Like only like a handful of times I'll post it and there's nothing there.
So are you looking for any particular architecture, like in order to like it? Because I mean, there's so many kinds, or does it matter?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I like Spanish is my favorite
Yeah.
Oh,
style, and then Streamline from the 30s is my up there in the bungalows, the craftsman bungalows.
Oh
I
yeah.
I like that, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Got it.
Yeah.
And then you want to talk about the Dear Abby series?
Yeah,
yes.
my dear RB6. Go ahead.
Yes, we love that.
Yeah. You know why? Because I like that because it shows that people are people. We're the same way. And some of that stuff I can relate to because
But
so
Sabrina had some comments about that one.
yeah.
We were talking about it earlier, and Swap Me Chronicles and I were talking about it earlier, and it's just she's very blunt, and it's just a trip when you think about yourself as a person.
Abby is very blunt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's very blunt in her responses, but then who are these people that decide to write in and ask someone's advice on their life as
It's
if
just yeah.
what she has to say is like the absolute truth. And do
Yeah.
you have any favorite Dear Abby ones that stand out to you, or a specific one that's like near and dear to your heart?
You know what? I like it because I don't have a specific one, and I read way more than I post. So you only see the ones I can fit in my little
Yeah.
video right here, and I try to keep it short. I know sometimes they be long, but I don't want to keep it. I don't want it too big. But the thing is, it just shows that people are people, no matter what. We're the same way they were. We just have technology, and but guys are guys, women are women. So it's relatable. Even though it's the 50s or the 60s or 80s, it's like we can relate to that because it's still relationships And people say, "Oh, I'm not gonna do that," or "I would," but you don't know. You don't know what you would do if you were in that situation. So it's just like we always have people say the good old days, but were they really the good old days? Because people
Right.
went through the same. I don't want to. People
Mhm.
went through the same stuff that we know back then that we do now.
I
And then
think you make a great point with that because I think
yeah,
that people tend to romanticize like one of my favorite eras, the Victorian era.
yeah,
They did the same things that we did that we are doing
yes,
now, and they're only human. I think that's a great point that you just made.
and yes. So like, I just like posting stuff like that, and I look for the juicy stuff. So like the boring stuff, it's like I try to look for the juicy stuff. Like
The
yesterday, like
tea.
you know, because I want that was from 1989, and I think about that lady who wrote that. She will be 81 years old now. So you went from 49, now you're 81. Time flies, you know what I
Yeah, that
mean?
was the last story that he posted about the husband cheating, and she's like, "Should I still stay here?" Or
Yeah.
it was so, and then Abby was like, "Get a therapist." I thought that
She
was
wasn't
hilarious.
wrong though. She wasn't
Yeah.
wrong.
And
Yeah,
I was
so
telling Sabrina that I don't remember. Well, I don't remember Abby, but I remember her daughter.
yeah.
Her daughter did a column
She
too,
yeah, she did one.
and Ann Landers, and I don't know. I just read it for fun, I guess. And then
I didn't read none of that. I didn't read any of that, but I saw that by accident looking at something else. I was like, ooh, look at this. Most of my posts are like that. Most of my posts are I'm looking at something else and then I see something else on the page. I'm like, hey, hey, hey.
yeah, yeah, you
Yeah.
run into something.
Like today, I didn't post today. Sorry.
Say that again.
No, go.
Okay, today I didn't post, but I was looking for electrocution, like somebody getting shot to death. And I seek out posts like that because I call it average Joe history. The common man, like he died, he lived and died, and no one knows about, no one cares about. And I just and I find I like bringing them back up. Do I
Yeah.
believe in like paranormal stuff? Sometimes, yes, I do. Because some of those times when I do that with
Yes.
that scary music I play with the
Wait, I
with
was
the
gonna
death,
ask you about that. No,
yeah,
I couldn't remember the name of the song.
yeah, it's called Downtown Irony by Pro Leader.
Downtown Irony.
Yeah,
Ooh.
by Pro Leader. And it wasn't even, I don't know how I picked that song, but it just goes with it. It just goes with death. But check this out. I'm gonna tell you guys something. Some of those, some of those posts I made, it was the day I found them. It was like the anniversary of it. That happened to
Oh
Wow.
me on
wow.
their birthday or the dead person's birthday. I'm like,
Wow.
what the heck?
The
But
Maybe
energy.
they're
I
calling you.
think
The
exactly.
spirits are
That's what I
calling
think.
you.
I really think that sometimes. I really do. I'm like,
Yeah.
why did I like bringing their names back up because they lived and died and no one cared about them, or people did care about them, but everybody died. So when you read like a tragic post, I mean an article, you feel it though. Even though they lived and died before you were born,
Yeah.
you still can like you still feel for them.
Totally agree. Yeah. And the other ones that was looking through some of your stuff, you put a lot of vintage ads, which would be ads either for something you buy or like even like a for apartments or different things like that.
Yeah.
Is that just to highlight like kind of how things? I mean, you could get an apartment for $10 a month as opposed to
Yeah. Yeah. I
those
like
are cool.
showcasing just average stuff that the average person would see. We all see celebrities, old golden era Hollywood. I just like to see like Joe's Rib Shack on Central Avenue,
Yeah.
because it's like, and I get that from it's a paper called the California Eagle. It
Mm-hmm.
was one of the largest black-owned newspapers
Mm.
um, from the 1800s to 1964, based in LA. So
Oh,
I
really?
like looking in that newspaper and looking at old restaurant ads and stuff like that, and it highlights a lot of minority stuff because the mainstream papers LA Times, they wasn't posting any of that. They wasn't really doing anything for non-whites,
Yeah.
in the media. So like, even I post everything. I don't discriminate. I post every race, everybody,
Yeah.
on my page. But it's like the mainstream media, they wasn't doing any of that back then. So it's kind of hard to find minorities in those vintage pictures,
No, that's
because
true.
they
Good point.
wasn't being covered like that.
Mm-hmm.
I
But
think that's
now,
important.
mm-hmm.
We're
Yeah,
glad you're doing so.
yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
so those businesses, they had lots of businesses, So I just like showcasing stuff like that.
No, awesome. I also, and that goes with the next question. You were posting how you said like random people like freaking at their wedding or like graduation
Yeah,
or like
yeah,
just different people in portraits, or whether it
yeah.
was a portrait of that they paid for or it was, I don't know. So that's interesting to me. Like, how do you choose like what captures you when you do see a family portrait or a person like.
Oh, cause I skip over way more than I post. So yeah, I just feel it. I just got a vibe. I'm like, oh, I like that picture. There was a Japanese family, um, a Japanese family, and they were in front of their '64 Chevy downtown LA somewhere. And I think they were downtown LA, and it's like that was a nice family picture. So it's like certain pictures just make me want to post.
Mhm.
They're
Other
quite
pictures,
compelling.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly,
It's like
exactly.
a bird's eye view of someone in their life and a special event. And they're
Yeah,
not posing. It's not like modeling. And it's
yeah,
just like a snippet of their life. And I think I read on
exactly.
one of your captions like what was this about or what was this person going through?
Yeah,
And it really
yeah.
makes you think.
The one of the lady's face, her face was like hurt. She
Yeah.
took a portrait, but it's like, dang, look at her face. And you can just look at her face and she tell she had a bad day.
Yeah.
When she went in there.
So so you do get a vibe from it, and then you post it, and so
Yeah,
there that's good, that because you do capture a lot of people, and it makes you wonder what their story is. I wish we could talk to them if they're still alive and things like that. I mean,
yes, and I want
I
to thank, all the people who took pictures. All the photographers who took pictures back then.
right.
Because their stuff is priceless. Because I took many pictures, right, in like 2005, and my ex girlfriend stole my laptop, and I wish I had those pictures from 2005. I don't even have those pictures.
Oh
So it's like
man.
you don't care when it's 2008 and you have pictures from 2005. You don't even care. But now
Yeah.
it's like it's 2021, and I want all those pictures. They're priceless. So time makes pictures more valuable, no matter what it is. You
Right.
know?
We were talking about this yesterday, that what Photo Bucket, remember Photo Bucket?
Yeah.
I lost the account to log into that, and there was a bunch of pictures
Wow.
in there. Like,
Yeah.
who knows where they're at now?
I was I'll be trying in vain. I'll be looking at my old Yahoo email and stuff, looking for old picture. Like no. Yeah.
So
Who
it's
So
knows? Like maybe 20, 40 years from now, someone's going to find our random photos,
yeah.
and maybe the
Exactly.
photos you're referring to, the one that your ex girlfriend has or took or whatever, and
She
they're
took
going to
my
say the
laptop with my
same
old
thing.
pictures. Yeah.
Yeah. They're going to be like,
Yeah.
what was this man going through? And
Yeah.
little do they know.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Another series that I really did like looking at was the postcards, the hotel postcards.
Yeah.
Did you run into a bunch of postcards, or I mean, how did that come about?
No, one of my friends, she referred me to. I ran into one postcard, and then one of my friends, she told me, and she DM'd me, and she told me where to find more postcards.
Like
So
in person or like a database?
it's a postcard. They sell postcards.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah. So all the postcards I used to ignore at the flea markets and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Someone buys them. If someone buys them up, and they have a database of them, and you can search a city, and
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, so it's like the same thing like the then and now. I want to make sure they're still there, because I like seeing motels If they, I don't care if they're remodeled or not, but if it's still there, it's like that makes it for me. You know.
I know, but it's like
Yeah.
there's always like the remodel.
They're always disappointed. They're
I
always
can't sometimes with the
disappointing.
remodels, but it's
They're
good to
always
see
disappointing.
it's good to see it's still there, but it's just like it's so beautiful at one point.
Yeah. Yeah. Grass, trees, bushes,
Flower
roses.
gardens
Yeah.
and then the ones that you posted recently, or yeah, the with the hotel door facing the main street, which is kind of not happening now.
Dude, they made sure they got because they were sneaking. You know, in the '80s, you know, the times got rough. So yeah, they were sneaking their buddies in to smoke or something. So they got rid of those doors. You know.
Yeah, so Sabrina, where the context is there these you know those motels on PCH or Figueroa or whatever. The doors to the room were facing the main street Figueroa, and now like they're all it's all you can't. That would be a recipe to have people sneak in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the
Yeah.
doors facing the street, like literally right
Yeah.
there.
No
Yeah.
visitors. They're like no visitors.
Yeah, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
And then we did talk a little. We wanted to ask a little bit about your vintage furniture and the thrift shopping. I know Sabrina has some questions on that.
Yeah.
Did you do it out of a necessity? Like for me, for instance, I shopped a lot at thrift stores, or I still do, but for furniture 10, 15 years ago, but it was out of necessity because I couldn't afford to go to a store and get like brand new furniture. So I had to get a lot of stuff and mismatched sets. How about you? Where did it spark? Where was the spark from? Was it for necessity or was it something you were just, interested in?
It was something I was interested in already. And I was staging houses a couple years ago with vintage furniture. So I was on my little side hustle. And,
wow.
Yeah.
Quite a hustle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a muscle, you know.
Ah.
But I did have my input. You see what I'm saying? So it's just I like the mid-century modern furniture. So my sofa is from I got that from an estate sale from the original owner's house, and my chair I found that in someone's yard, you know. So it's like, and then everything else is like from thrift stores. I really don't go to flea markets to buy furniture because they mark up the prices.
Yeah.
And like I can do the dirty work myself. And I understand they have to have a living, but it's just like, I can do the same thing you can do. So I cut the middleman out, you know. Some people don't want to do the work, and I understand they need to get paid. I understand that. But it's like I find stuff on my own. I have a pickup
So you're
truck.
able to refurbish it on your own.
Yeah, I just do things on my own. Yeah. I really didn't have to on my sofa.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of messy right now there, so I can't show it off right now.
We got our backgrounds covered too.
Yeah, don't worry.
Yes. So as far as going to thrift stores, me and my missus, we go to the thrift store like every couple of weeks. We try to go once a week, but we try to hit different thrift stores because if you go to the same one, it's gonna be the same stuff there. And the stuff I show on my Instagram story,
yeah,
those are like it's like Pawn Stars or the Storage Wars. They only show the good stuff. Most stuff is just junk. So if I show it on my IG story, that's the highlight of my day. Because a lot of stuff
agrees with the junk.
Yeah. And then I get go ahead.
No, go ahead, please. I'll wait till you're done.
Then I get ran out, people with shopping carts in the aisle, blocking the aisle. So I'm like, oh, I'm out of here. So
that's the worst.
Yeah. I'm like, I want to go over there. And they've been there for 10 minutes. Come on. Yeah.
Yeah. So
we've all experienced that. No, I was just saying that yes, I thrifted. I don't do it as much as I used to.
I know.
I used to thrift quite a bit.
I wish I did.
Punch bowls and all the other fun stuff, and I have a large, odd collection of excuse me, of things.
Yeah,
But
we
yes,
got our kitchen stuff right here.
Oh, nice. I love
nice.
thrift shop, kitchen, knickknacks and stuff. That's my favorite.
Yeah, I'm kind of semi-retired off of the big stuff because I've been messing with my cars, you know. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, my wife
We got
my
questions
wife
about the cars coming up too.
yeah, my wife says I lost my touch.
Huh?
My wife says that I lost my touch as finding vintage furniture and stuff like that
Oh
Oh.
because I
no.
because I've been in my cars again, so I got a little
If
rusty.
you're going every week to every 2 weeks, I mean, you're pretty dedicated. That's cool. I mean, it's been years since
Yeah,
I've done anything like that. I mean, as
yeah,
far as like,
we go a lot, you know.
that's awesome.
But we have to spread it out though. We can't just go to the same one over and over again. And the
Yeah.
thing about the Goodwills, there's Goodwills in all over. And then we like going to the mom and pop stores also, the little mom and
Yeah.
pop ones. Yeah,
I know with the pandemic, I mean, it was a little bit
yeah.
kind of either they shut down or I don't know how they made it, but
A lot of
yeah,
them shut down, but then they had a lot of restrictions. You know, they
right.
still do.
Yeah, definitely. And I did want to mention, like, it's funny because when I was looking through your thing, your page, you had the Dunes apartments in Inglewood, and it's funny because I went to take pictures of the apartments for the same reason for the show Insecure. I don't know if you've seen.
Yeah, yeah. I
So I'm
remember the
like,
show. Yeah,
man, we're thinking alike in these random ass
yeah. I know.
places.
Yeah, I like your Compton that store with the roof on Long
Which
Beach
one?
Boulevard. It was a milk a dairy.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was
Yeah,
funky, but it's like it's there. It has a
yeah,
presence, you know.
yeah.
Um, and then you were, I think you were gonna ask about the eras, Sabrina.
About the eras.
Yeah, the favorite eras.
Oh, yes. Is there something specifically that stands out to you? Is there a specific Long Beach history that you kind of are drawn to more than others? Because Swap Meet Chronicles and I have been to like the Bixby tours in Long Beach. Is there something in particular that you're drawn to specifically, and what era and why?
I like the history of my neighborhood on the east side
Can you
because
describe where
it's
the east side's at?
the
Like,
east side is between Willow to the north, um, the LA River to the
mhm.
west, and like 7th Street to the south. You know,
Okay.
and then it's gonna be like Wanapero to the east. You know, so it's like the neighborhood I grew up in. I like my history in my neighborhood, and because this is the area I would be living in back in the 50s and 60s
Mm.
because of racial restrictions. So
Oh
it's
wow,
like,
good point.
I remember when I was a kid, before the big old before the major demographic change, and that took place in the last 30 years. There were a lot of there were more blacks back then in my
Uh-huh.
neighborhood. So I remember their history. I like seeing their names in the paper. Oh, I
Yeah.
remember that person. He was an old man when I was a kid. So I like looking in the paper or looking at their businesses that used to be along Anaheim Street. And then I like the crime. I like like the old crime stories in my
Yeah.
neighborhood. I love it.
Crime.
And my favorite, so that's if I gotta choose, I like my neighborhood looking up stuff that happened where the same streets I walked on. I like looking that up first,
Mhm.
whether it's good or bad. And I love the crime stories, especially in Wilmington. Wilmington is my favorite area.
Oh
Uh,
no.
yeah,
Yay.
that's my favorite. My favorite crime areas is Wilmington.
Right.
Yeah,
Wilmington.
Any
yeah.
story in particular or crime that
It
sticks
was
out to you the
cracking.
most?
Wilmington always been cracking, and Wilmington is no, just always something. There's always something, and then it doesn't matter with white guys, black guys, Mexicans. It was like it was it was something was always going down in Wilmington. So I love it. That's like one of my favorite areas to look for when I do a marijuana story or a robbery. So yeah, and I like looking up marijuana. I don't smoke, but I like looking up stories, um, the drug stories because they
Mhm.
were so harsh You know, if you think they were harsh now, they were really harsh then. You know, and it's like I like looking up those stories.
Hmm.
Yeah.
How about like the actual era? Like I know you said mid-century. Did you like the 20s, 30s, 40s? Any particular one more than others?
Yeah, I like the 50s and 60s more than the others, just
Uh-huh.
because the style, everything, you know, the architecture style, um, people were still alive when I was those guys were still alive when I was a kid and stuff. Some of those guys were my dad's friends and stuff
Uh-huh.
growing up, so they were already older already. But now looking back, I'm like, oh damn, that guy was 28 back in 1958. You know,
Yeah. That's
so
true.
yeah,
Awesome. So we kind of wanted to now go into. I did notice on your page as well. You also highlight your personal interests, like as far as like the school buses, and then the Red 66.
yeah,
It's like I was telling Sabrina, they're almost like characters. Like
yeah.
you're talking about these characters. So I mean, kind of share where the school bus thing comes and your passion for school buses, and then the Red 66, because that's like a definitely like he's like another, I don't know if it's a he or she, but
Yeah, it's a she. Yeah,
oh she, I'm sorry, Red.
yeah, yeah,
um
yeah.
tell us a little bit about that.
Well, you know, I've always been in the cars. You know, I've been in the cars since I was little because of my neighborhood. We didn't have social media back then,
Right.
obviously. So my earliest memories are from over here. So I just fell in love with cars from a young age, and I knew I was going to be a car guy. Some
Mm-hmm.
people know they're going to do that. Some people know they're going to do that. I knew I was going to be a car guy. You know, me and my twin, I have a twin brother, and we
Mm-hmm.
we sit on the bus stop going to middle school, and we used to say the name of cars back then. Oh, that's a Chevrolet, that's a Toyota. So we
Nice.
we we self taught ourselves, you know. And then my dad had an Impala.
Mm-hmm.
He had a '71 Impala growing up when we was kids and stuff. So we knew about Chevrolets back then. And as far as busing, I always liked those school buses, the Crown school buses, even when I was a kid, you know. And I made a post on Facebook about one of the. I was at the gas station, and one of the buses drove by, and I took a picture of it. And this is before I even got over to the transportation department um, at my job. So anyway, I was always a school bus lover, and then for me to be able to drive one, I don't know how that happened.
You
It's just
manifested it. That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. I don't understand. I still don't understand. You know, I just knew that I've been working for the school district in Long Beach for 19 years now.
Oh wow, nice.
Um, yeah, I was a custodian, and then for 4 years, and then I was a position called locker room attendant. So I worked in the boys' locker room at a high school,
Mm-hmm.
and um, and then I promoted to the transportation department, and I was a laborer, and that's an entry level position. And I would wash the school buses. I would run parts to the parts shop. I ended up getting my license. Now I'm a truck driver, and I got my bus certificate.
Oh nice.
So I became a
Nice.
bus driver. I'm like, I'm a truck driver. That's my main position. But we do busing
Like
for
a
events
semi
and stuff.
truck driver
It's a box truck.
or
Yeah,
okay.
we don't have semi trucks for Long Beach. Unified, they have Class A trucks with a little trailer. But in
Mm-hmm.
Long Beach, we drive the bobtail trucks.
Okay.
So anyway, so and so they I'm like, what? I get to drive a bus. So I practiced. You know, my older coworkers, they taught me how to drive a bus, and they saw that they wasn't going to help me if I wasn't going to help myself. You know, so they saw I was very interested and I was very passionate, and
Yeah.
um, and you got to be, you know, because as a bus driver, you have students, you have parents, and you have the public. You have to be safe, you know.
What
So
kind
it's
of
like
what route did you do, or any specific
I
school?
don't do. I'm a truck driver during the day um, at the school district, but it would be in the after hours. We would do sporting trips and sporting events, field trips. You know,
Okay.
so I didn't have a particular route. It just they give me a printout and saying, "Oh, you got this next week, or you got that next week." So
Okay.
it's random, and I haven't driven in a year because of COVID.
I know. That must be
Yeah,
impactful.
yeah. So it's been a year now. So it's like besides my training we had, we have to do training every year. So besides having training a couple months ago, as far as students, no, we haven't. We still grounded right now for now.
Yeah.
But the Crown buses, the older buses, that company was founded in LA
Okay.
in like I think the early 1900s.
Oh,
Okay.
And
nice.
yes, and the buses, the Crown buses that we know, that design was developed in the 1940s,
Okay.
and they made that bus from the 1940s to 1991. And they
So, question on those buses: do they make new models every year like cars?
they had like the VW Bug. You'll see the VW Bug, and to the average person, they all look the same. But
Yeah.
they had different changes for whatever reason throughout the years. So a 1949 Crown, it might look the same as a 1979 Crown to the average person, but if you'll see the differences in those buses. But they made them basically the same until 1991.
What happened after that?
They it was family owned until the 70s or the either late 70s or early 80s, and then a big company bought the company from the family,
Hmm.
and then they ran it to the ground. And they sold it, and then 1985 they moved to Chino, and they flopped with the corporate owners. Someone else bought them out, and then that's what happens when big business take over little
Yeah.
business sometimes.
So they're
So
still
true.
there, but it's like a big business now.
No, they're out of business. Yeah, so
They're out of
they
it.
yeah, yeah.
So what's happening with the buses? They're just like you have to maintain them and that's it.
Those buses, due to California air regulations, they have to be off the road for commercial use
Uh huh.
by the end of like 2017. So most school districts sold their buses. So unless they have a different motor, a non-diesel motor, they still can use them. But
Sold them
private people have them.
sold them to who? Like other places?
People, the auction, public auction. So a lot of private people have them, and they making campers out of them.
Yes, I've seen that
Yes,
trend. It's so
they call them
interesting.
schoolies. They call them schoolies.
Police?
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah,
I seen like tour like people like not homeless people but like more travelers or they
yes,
more like hippie
yes,
type. I
yes.
don't
They
know
a
now,
lot of
but
people,
a
a lot
while back.
of those cats. They're making lots of money because they get their little partnerships deals and stuff, and they get to travel and do their builds. So it's a big business now.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
So then
But
what
my
are
bus,
they red?
my truck, my
What?
truck is a.
Yeah.
Say again. Go
So
ahead.
you're saying your bus, so you own a bus or for the school?
No, no. My bus I drive at the school is a 2011 Thomas, and that bus is from North Carolina, and those buses were cheaper. Um, um, 30 years ago when they start when Crown went out of business, the Crown buses were super expensive. So it's like school districts start buying other bus companies buses. So that was like the downfall of Crown also.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you grow up going on a bus, Sabrina, to school or anything?
I did not. I was the child dropped off at daycare at 6 a.m. in the morning and picked up at 6 p.m. until I could start walking. So, no.
I went to
Yeah.
LAUSD schools, but I never had to use a bus because they were all close, but only for field trips, basically.
Yeah. Same thing with
Yeah.
me. Same thing with me. And I take the public bus, the city bus to middle school. But we had busing in Long Beach until 2013. So people were still getting bused across town. And that's a whole nother story. There would be no busing unless they have housing segregation. So that opened up a whole nother can of worms come the 70s, and they did the mandatory busing. So they
Is
take the
that
kids from
where they sent kids to other districts?
to the valley and stuff like that. Yeah.
Why did they do that? I mean, it's interesting to know.
Because the schools in South LA and over here, they were older schools, and in the valley they have those mid-century schools. They were brand new, state of the art, facilities and everything. So the education wasn't equal. Same thing in Long Beach. All those schools in East Long Beach from the mid-century, non-whites couldn't live over there. So we had to go to school over here, and our school was already old already. And our schools got rebuilt in the 30s because of the earthquake, but their schools got built in the 50s. So they were brand new schools still. So all that came into play. So by the 70s, they were like, they got to end school segregation by race.
Right.
So they had to integrate the schools because in Long Beach, in LA, they were segregated all the way until the early 70s.
Yeah, so such that dark, ugly history, right? With
And education inequality is still something that's very prevalent to this day.
Exactly. And people want to say, "Oh, you gotta use the race card." Though actually, they played the race card. We didn't play the race card. They played the race card on everybody else. But now, if we say something,
that's
it's like,
true.
oh,
Very true. Good point.
Yeah.
And then tell us a little bit about Rudd, the
My
story
truck.
how he came about, because she's very highlighted in your Instagram, and like I said, it's like a character to me. I see it as a
That's why I wanted to be, and I'm glad it's working.
Yeah.
Well, with my truck, my friend, one of my best friends, his great uncle and aunt bought it brand new back in 1966, and they bought it in Long Beach, and they lived for 50 years over here on 100 Century and Hoover in South LA. So that truck, the man, Mr. Rudd, he used to go fishing, camping, out of state, and everywhere with him and his wife and their family. They used to go on that. They used to use that truck for everything, and they had it forever. And he passed away in 1997, and then the wife, she passed away in 2017, and my friend ended up moving into the house, and the truck was still in the backyard, and he said he was gonna fix it up. And I was working on my Volkswagen.
Uh-huh.
I have a 65 VW and I had a 71 Super Beetle convertible at the time. So I wasn't really paying attention, but he did text me saying people were lowballing them, and I was like, wait, you selling the truck? So I ended up buying the truck. So I sold one of my Volkswagens and I bought the truck, and the truck needed everything. I just wanted to put a battery in it and start it up, but it didn't work that way. I had to rip out the wiring, do engine work on it, to bring it back to life. And I got it back to life.
How many years in the making?
Say that again? I didn't hear you.
How many years in the making?
2018. So 2018. Yeah, so it was, I used to go over to his house on Century and Hoover to work on it in the backyard. And I remember the day Nipsey Hussle got killed, I was over there working on the truck. I was putting the gas tank in, and they said Nipsey Hussle got shot. They didn't say he got killed yet. So I drove over there, but I had all my tools in the back of my truck. So I wanted to park my truck and walk over there to the store because everybody was over there. So I got close, but not too close because I couldn't leave my truck with all my tools in the back. But I never forgot that day. I was in LA that day he got killed working on my truck.
Wow.
But I named the truck Rudd because that was their last name. And I want to pay homage to them.
Yeah. So, nice.
Yeah.
It's a way to keep their memory alive and going.
Exactly.
Do you ever feel like the family, it sounds like you have some belief in the paranormal. So does it feel like the family's enjoying themselves when you're on a ride?
It's not my truck. It's their truck. I say that all the time. It's their truck, So yeah, and my best buddy, he sees the progress, So.
How did
Yeah,
it
so I
become
still
like
take
a
it over
character?
there.
It's part of your label, your logo now and everything. Like,
Say that again.
how did it become like a character? Because I see it's part of your logo
Oh
and
yeah, yeah. My Instagram friend, her name is Matt Eileen. She does logos and graphic arts and stuff like that. So I messaged her and I said, "Can you do me a logo? You know, I
yeah,
want to get a logo from you." So she did this. It had nothing to do with me. You know, she's that gifted. You know, she made this. I was like, when I saw it, I was like, yes.
yeah,
So she's so talented. You know. So I want to thank her because I was thinking about a truck in my in the thing. So it's like, yeah, she did that for me. Yeah,
yeah. Definitely went perfect with that.
yeah.
So do you have any other questions, Sabrina, about that?
No, I think about the car. No, now it's like synonymous with you now, so it just
Yeah.
And I
goes
don't know
together.
nothing about cars either, so
And I'm a
Yeah.
Volkswagen guy. I'm not even a Chevy truck. I'm a Chevy truck guy now, but I'm on my 12th Volkswagen. I have another one. I have a VW in the
wow.
garage. I have a 65 sunroof, and I bought that in 2016. And that bug, and that I know the history about that bug. That bug has been parked since 1983. It's been off the street since 1983. I found it online in 2016.
Uh-huh.
So the story behind that bug, um, the guys, the owner bought it in 1971,
Mm-hmm.
and he drove it until 1983, and I guess he passed away in 1994, but the bug it just stayed in the garage that whole time until the son was like, I'm gonna sell the bug. So he told a VW shop in Orange County to post it online. I saw the ad and I bought the bug. I looked up the guy's name. It was a Japanese guy,
Oh,
and
okay.
his son is still around too. So I want to message him, but his son is like my dad age, like born in 1948 or 49. So he's not on social media, but from my research, he still lives in the San Gabriel Valley. So I want to
Oh,
like contact him and
you
see if I,
should.
yeah, I want to, but it's like it doesn't say he's dead, but he's still in the San Gabriel Valley.
Okay.
So yeah,
Well, that's
yeah,
cool.
yeah,
Um, so I wanted to kind of dig into how you do your research. I know that you go into newspaper database.
yeah.
Is there a specific kind of pattern or thing that you use? Any specific way you do your research?
Yeah, well, I try to hit keywords
Okay.
on the my newspaper.com website I use. And
So
I
you
pay
pay for the subscription or?
yeah, I pay about 80 well like 80 bucks every 4 months or 6 months, something like that.
Because it's not
Like
free.
it's not free, yeah. This stuff
Right?
is not free. And rightfully so. Especially I can get a lot of stuff for free, but I understand people have to get paid and stuff like that. And it's the stuff is priceless and it's endless. So I don't ask for money. I don't ask for donations. Maybe in the future, but it's not free. It's come out of pocket. You know,
So
and
how much time are you spending on this research and stuff?
I spend more. You know what? Like I said before, it's like I research a lot and I hardly post. So it's like it's like 5% posting and 95% research.
Yeah.
Oh
Because
wow.
it's like getting stuck in Wikipedia. You know how you go to Wikipedia and you click on one thing and then you click on something else and then you click on something else and then like 2 hours later you're like,
How did we
wow,
get here?
how do we get to Warner Brothers LLC
Yeah.
Music Corporation? It's like so I have no set formula, but I just hit keywords and then I
Keyword.
narrow down the date, and then the newspaper, and then I can narrow it down. It's easy. I do everything on my phone now, so
Right.
yeah.
So you basically sounds like you do take a lot of time to actually research your post.
Yeah. So like I don't take anything personal on social media, but it's like some people will make a comment like, "Are you sure?" That's like, oh my gosh. I'm not gonna say, I'm not gonna post it without doing my research. You know what I mean?
Right.
Even though I'm not formally educated. Like, I'm learning all this on my own.
Right.
Like formally educated, like a historian, like from college or nothing. I just did this on my own. I'm doing it on my own on my phone. And some people say, "Are you sure?" I'm like, I'm not gonna post this unless I'm sure. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I hear you on that, and that's a good point. Like, at one time, historians had to be, these people that were trained, and we didn't know who they were or anything. So I like now that there's an opportunity for all of us to be historians in our own realm, right? Because
exactly,
we're documenting history, and yeah, we might not have that, degree in history, but it's still important, and it's still
exactly
documented. So, I mean, definitely good point on that.
And I like LA history. I like a lot of LA history, and I like following pages dedicated to certain neighborhoods and stuff like that. And people got their own things going on, and I like following them. I like follow. I don't care if you have 500 followers. I don't care if you have 300 followers or 49,000. It's the same to me. It's like that never. If you posting good content, then you're posting good content.
Right.
So I like following pages that's dedicated to a certain a niche, and a certain neighborhood and stuff like that. I like, and they could be small. I like following small pages dedicated to certain, because I look up to them. I look up to those people.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, if you could maybe share the process of the technique how you do your videos, because with the music, because I know that, and before your early ones, it was just the photo, and then you developed into this montage or video
Yeah.
thing with the music, and then the one that beside the song that people are in trouble, the one that you mentioned, that one, I know that song you use a lot, but the Mary J. Blige song.
Yeah.
That one also has like a sad feel to it when you post it. So
That's my favorite song. Love No Limit. That song is my first one. Is my favorite song because it takes me back to 5th grade. And that the summer of 92, 93, summer of 1992 and the summer of 1993. Those some of my favorite songs. That was like one of my favorite summers. Those 2 summers, coming from 4th to 5th grade and going from 5th to 6th grade. So that song always it makes me feel good. So it's my ringtone on my phone. Yes, I still have a ringtone. It's my alarm. It's my alarm every morning.
It's kind of sad, isn't it though? Isn't it like for a sad story?
No, it's for my then and now. It was for my then and now. That was like the main song.
A lot of the things are changed. So I'm like, ah.
Yeah, I know that. That's true because it's just, but it builds up. So right before I show the now, it goes. So yeah,
So
I do it
how
on
did
purpose.
the video work? Your montages, like, how did you start that? Like, what do you use for all that?
I use an app called KindMaster.
Okay.
Yeah, KindMaster, KIN.
Just like how it sounds.
Yeah, KIN Master.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know why they call it that, but I pay like maybe $5 a month to use it without the watermark.
Okay.
So, yeah, I pay for that too.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, it's important. What you're doing, the work you're putting out, it's showing, it's highlighting Long Beach in a whole nother perspective. And that's the one thing about history is whoever writes the history gets to write what they want about history. So you're showing your perspective, and I think that's very important.
Yeah, I'm just doing my part, and I'm glad I'm doing my part. And like I said, I'm an average Joe, so I like posting average Joes. And I can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. And I don't have I'm doing everything on my phone. I'm doing it when I can. 'Cause I'm busy. I'm a busy dude, but I make time to do something,
Right.
and it's fun because it's like our content is endless.
I
Our
know.
content is endless. We're not gonna stop. There's always gonna be our content. Other people
Yeah.
pick something. Other pages they'll pick something and they'll run out of steam. But it's like our stuff is endless.
That's true. That's a good way to look at it. It is endless.
Yeah,
Not like
yeah.
even if we got everything in LA or Long Beach, I mean, that's gonna take a long time, and then going further to other cities and out of LA and out of state, I mean, it is endless. So there's
It's
so
endless. Exactly. It's like it's so endless, especially using newspaper clippings. It's like there was a newspaper. It's endless.
yeah.
So if I could do this full time, I would. If I could just do this full time and get paid, I would. But I gotta pay my bills and take care of my kids, and
Yeah.
you know.
Do your
So
kids follow your passion?
no,
No?
no. My daughter, I have a 17-year-old, and she likes old cars, And my 5-year-old, she'll be 6 next week. She like old cars too. So she'll tell me, "Oh, look at that old car." So
Okay, so it's
yeah,
little.
it rubs off.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I did want to point out. So I looked at your follower count right now. It said 7,534, and you posted 3,205 posts. That's a lot of posts.
Yeah.
Super consistent. I think when I first started following you, you were like about 4,000, and you grew really rapid. So what do you think attribute to such big growth that you've been having? As far as like what kind of audience do you have? Like how did you get kind of spread out?
It's been. I mean, compared to others, when I look at other people's pages, um, I try to like the pages I look up to and I follow. I follow like, okay, this is what you gotta do. It's just being consistent. And
Mm-hmm.
I try not to post the same stuff over and over again. So I might do architecture for like a week or a couple of days, and then
Mm-hmm.
I'll go to something else. And like I don't stick to one topic. So I got people who like architecture. I got people who like the crime stories,
Mm-hmm.
the gang stories. So it's like, it's like I'm all over the place. So that's why people like me because I'm all over the place. So I just don't. I envy people who stick to one topic though. I wish I could stick to one topic. I really do, but it's not me.
You
But
you
I
have
do
a lot
envy.
of interest, so that's cool.
Yeah, yeah,
Variety is the spice of life, they
yeah,
say.
yeah. I like those accounts that only do one thing and just post one thing. I wish I could be like that, sometimes, but it's not
Yeah,
gonna happen. It's
I
not gonna
feel you
happen with
on
me.
that.
Yeah.
So how have you seen Instagram change over the years? Because I know that did your audience change from 2016 till now? Did you see any of that kind of changes? And how did you adapt to like? Well, I guess you can answer that first, and then I'll ask the next one. Like as far as did you see changes in your audience? Because just to give you an example, like when I first posted on my personal, like a building, like nobody really cared, because it was like friends or family. And
Yeah.
when I started having more of a public page with a niche audience, like people were more engaged.
Exactly.
Did you notice that change yourself?
I saw that. I saw that change on your. I mean, I saw that on your page. You know.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah. Yeah. Same thing with me. But my when my page was small, people knew that about me already. So the local people from my personal life, they knew that about me already.
Yeah.
So but as far when it got bigger, um, they found out. But they don't know that I'm not sticking to one topic. So I'm not a one trick pony. So if you want to see architecture all the time, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen with me because
Yeah.
I'll talk about something else.
Right.
So, but I never did it for the followers. I've been doing this for me.
Right.
And so it's like you're looking at my looking through my window right now. So you're seeing everything through me. I'm not doing it for I'm not doing it for you guys. I'm doing it for me. And you guys are coming along.
Yeah.
You know, you guys come along for the ride, you know. And like somebody said, you know, somebody, I forgot why, but a couple months ago, something happened. It was like they stopped somebody and
Uh-huh.
they did some brutality or something like that. I forgot what it was. And somebody who followed me saw my comment. They're like, I can't believe you said that. You just lost it, you know, I'm about to unfollow you. And I'm like, first of all, I'm not gonna say, I'm never saying anything for you. I'm not speaking for you. This is my opinion, and you can go. I don't care if you follow me or not. Because I'm not doing it for you. I'm not doing anything for followers, you know?
Right.
But I do know, like, my page is public, you know? So I don't say everything I want to say. I don't. Because my page is public, you know? So it's like, oh, you want lots of followers, but then when you have lots of followers, you get censored. So it's like, for real, I'm censored now because I got people from my job following me, you know? I got people from this and that. So it's like, for real. So, you know, so you have to make another page that, you know, I'll friend you guys one day for my troll account.
Yeah. No, but yeah, you're right. I mean,
Yeah.
you have to do this because of the passion for doing it and not necessarily. Obviously, the followers come with the
Yes.
territory,
Yes.
but you have to have that passion to
Exactly.
do anything.
It has to be in you. It's not for followers. It's something that you like doing, you know. And
Right.
it's like, you know, I'm dedicated to this. You know, I love it.
Right.
So it's like I'm not doing it. Oh, I got 100 likes. I don't care. I don't care about that. You know. You know, I never care about that. You know.
No, that's a good.
Yeah.
That's definitely a great way to look at it.
It's
Yeah.
important to look at it that way.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to put out what you put out.
And I like the like-minded people. That, you know, it's like, yes, people who are into the same stuff I am. That's the good thing about social media, because it's like the people who like the stuff that, you know, they follow you or you follow them, you know.
I think that's so important. And I was telling Sabrina that you engage a lot with your audience. You respond and you answer questions, and that's awesome because I know if as some people get bigger, they stop responding and
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah, and like, yeah, and I'll make time if they say something, and if I can answer, I will answer. You know, if I can just like it, I'll like it. You know, so yeah,
it makes a difference.
Yeah,
I think it does.
It does. It does make a difference. You know, and I like if people take the time out to talk to me. If I can't talk back to them, if I can answer their questions, I will. You know, and so. I understand why some bigger pages they can't do it all, but
Right, if you were like a million or something, yeah.
Yeah, but even when they have 1 million followers, when you see them make a comment back to somebody, I like that. You know, it's like he replied to that person. You know, and you gotta make sure it's the real person. Like, oh, that is him. He did reply. A lot of times, people like big accounts, they have trolls that will reply to the comments.
Oh yeah.
You know? I'm like, nah, that's a fake you. That's not the real you.
So how did you adapt to the Instagram changes, like with IGTV, Reels, all the kind of new? Because I know that for us, we have to, we have to adapt with technology, and we, we're not the younger kids that grow up with this.
Exactly.
How did you adapt to? I know that you use stories, you use Reels, you use IGTV. So how did you kind of adapt to the changes? Is it something you're kind of pretty good at, like learning it all?
No, it took me a while because I was like, let me try it, because I was doing it. You don't know how many times I have to delete posts before I make a post. I'm like, oh man, the music's not on there. And then I play a lot of music, so I get a lot of copyright things on my account because I use music. So it's like a lot of posts I have to take down and change the music and stuff on it, and so it's like I'm learning all this stuff, as I go along. So yeah, we're what, exennials? Is that how you say it?
We're not millennials, are we?
No, Xennials,
We're
the X.
we're like Gen X
Is
on the cusp. We're Gen X and millennial. Yeah, we
Yeah.
are. We are
so
technically.
yeah, and we're cuspers too. So we're not Generation X, but we're not millennials. So it's like we're right in that sweet spot, you know. We old enough for the old school, but we're young enough for this new stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, yes.
So we're right there. So we still gotta learn, and I still
What is
struggle.
the
You
new
know.
generation called? Like your daughter's age, Serena?
Um.
What are they?
Gen Z. Gen Z.
Yeah. My daughter was born in 2003. My oldest. Yeah.
Yeah, they're on a whole.
They're Gen Z.
Yeah. Yeah. So she grew up with a phone in her hand. You know,
Yes.
she grew up with a smartphone. So, and the same thing with my little 5-year-old. You know, they're she's about to get a iPad for her birthday.
Yeah,
So,
technically
yeah.
advanced.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So one of the last questions, or leading towards, we could wrap it up. What does the future look like for you, a historian? I mean, do you have any plans to expand more on different things? I see that you're wearing a shirt, and I was wondering, like, man, he should make shirts out of that.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
merch, like,
My coworker, she made this for me, and she made the cup for me.
we would
So,
rock that shit. I mean, if you start selling merch, that'll be a tight shirt right there.
Yeah, I'm gonna shout her out. You know, I was waiting to get my tires on my truck, and I was gonna pose next to my truck, and as a cup. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's cool. I like it, and it's one of a kind right now. So I'm gonna talk to her, and we can work out a deal. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I need a hat. I need like a cap.
Yeah, yeah, it's cool. I was so grateful. I was like, wow.
The coffee mug is dope too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have plans for anything for your kind of
For
like
my
new future, or anything that you're interested in trying out or anything?
you know, I want to do YouTube more. You know, I got a YouTube page I never post on.
Right.
But if I want to do something like that, I gotta get rid of the music because I'm gonna get a lot of copyright violations. So that's something I gotta start just using generic music. You know.
That's
But
the
I like
hardest part.
music. I like
Me
music, so it's
too.
like, yeah, so it's like I like posting music, so I don't care about being monetized or anything like that. But it's like I have to follow the rules and do it the right way.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to get, if I'm
So
gonna
how
do.
would you use YouTube? Would you, as far as like, you would be showing yourself, or like doing documentary type of stuff, or?
Oh yeah, I would be posting the things I post on my IG page, but I do want to do myself also. And I do want to talk in videos, And I
Yeah.
want to put my 2 cents in, because I really don't. I really don't put my 2 cents in much. I just lay it out there. But I do have opinion about certain things,
Yeah, that would be dope.
So
If you could do that, like hear
yeah, I
yourself.
want to do a voiceover on an article,
Yeah.
Oh, smart.
Yeah. So I want to do stuff like that,
Now, right, on Reels, you could do that, a voiceover.
I could, but I haven't.
Yeah,
But
I'll be waiting for the voiceovers.
Yeah, because I want to put my 2 cents in, my commentary.
Well,
Yeah.
we're voting for you to do that next time.
Yeah. That's the plan though, because I want to be more, I want to be more hands-on and people to, to know me, But I don't post much of me, like much of me, like my face, like I'm always
Yeah.
behind the scenes,
Same
So-
thing. I mean, we're kind of behind the scenes, and I don't think we're used to posting us as much, because I don't know, like we were saying earlier, the younger generation is used to kind of having the camera in their hand. So for me, it was always anonymous, because I came from the graffiti world. So you had to be anonymous.
Yeah.
Knowing everybody who you were. So I still have that
Exactly.
in me, but now with starting new things, you have to get more comfortable, I guess.
Yeah.
So
And like people know me, from my personal life, and like the people know me from Instagram. They don't know my face, you know what I mean? So it's like my
yeah,
little.
and I don't know if I could, the funny part was, remember, I thought you were like an older man.
Yeah, you know, oh, like, where you get that from?
Not how you look, but because of your content, I thought you were like in your late 60s or something.
Oh yeah.
And then,
Nah, yeah. I remember you telling me that.
because you have like an old soul too. So,
Yeah,
I mean, you don't run across that too much. So,
yeah.
and then you had the vintage dress, the attire. So,
Yeah.
oh, he's probably, an older man, like posting. But you,
Yeah, it's like I need to get my vintage clothes game up though because I walk the walk, you know what I mean? So I like old furniture, I got old cars, old articles. I need to get some more old clothes.
yeah. Well, if you're going to the thrift shops, I'm sure you'll run into a lot of
I do, but they be small. I need some bigger sizes.
them.
The
Maybe
best
some really
stuff.
good reproductions.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you have any other questions, Sabrina, for him, or anything else before we wrap it up?
No, it's just been a joy to talk to you and find out some more behind the scene information and what inspires you.
Yeah. Thank
And how
you.
could people find you for people that haven't heard about you yet? Where could they find you, or how?
You can find me on Instagram, Hood Historian 562.
Mm-hmm.
My truck has an Instagram, Rod66
Oh,
C10.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
yeah, it has its own Instagram. I need to be more active on
See,
it.
I knew it had like a character of its own. That truck.
Yeah, yeah. So you'll find me on Instagram. I'll be around.
Yeah, and
Feel
hopefully,
free to,
we see your
say hi to
YouTube.
me. Yeah, I'm friendly. I'm a friendly dude. So don't be afraid to say hi.
Right. And then as far as if you want to look at our personal pages, mine's Swami_Chronicles, and then Sabrina's.
Is observing_spooks_ and other vices. And I
Yeah.
don't have a lot of content. I need to fix that. I mean, I have tons of content, but that means I'm gonna actually, I'm the procrastinator. I'm not good like you two. So it's gonna take me a minute to get some stuff up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully next time, Sabrina.
Yes, next time.
Even if it's starting once a week, because I mean sometimes we can't all post every day. I know you post every day, but sometimes it could get.
Yeah, I try to post at least once a day.
Yeah. So
And I try to post in the morning time because I think it makes a difference.
yeah, the times it does.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I'm too tired. I have to post like at midnight, and that doesn't really make sense. But
Yeah.
I have a long day. But no,
Yeah.
yeah. So officially, you're our first guest. Really exciting.
Oh, cool.
And number one on Beyond the Facade. So we'll be having more episodes coming up with different topics, as you guys all know. But for
Awesome.
now, thank you, Hood Historian, for your time, and
Thank you.
No problem. You're welcome.
We
Thank you
really
guys for
enjoyed
having
it.
me.
yes,
Thank you.
have a good one.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.